All right, so I don't, like I said, I don't have any goat meat, which is fine. It's not really fine. I really wanted some goat meat, but the butcher didn't have any in stock. But I did make the jollof rice. I'm gonna try different brands of rice, different grains of rice, I should say, next time. I mean, it tastes delicious. I remember the flavors, but you gotta try this recipe. Here it is. Look at that. Yeah, get some of this because it's hot. Mm. Spicy, tomatoey. Yeah, I can taste the onions in it, but I don't taste the habaneros. I should have put more, but you know the peanut gallery, they won't eat it if I put too much in it. So this is what it is. Mm. Try it out. This is hot but delicious. Try it out. Hey, this is Shaw Sharon. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Okay, so today is interesting. Um, I never thought that I would be making this dish, but I am because I didn't know the name of it. All I know is it tastes good. Now I was watching one of my YouTube buddies, Rodney and Janelle. They're doing some chicken, and they use a seasoning called Jollof seasoning, rice seasoning. And being nosy, you know, I looked it up, recipes dealing with jollof rice, and I saw a rice mixture, a dish that I had before. You know, granted, it's been over 20 years since I had it, but I never knew the name of it. It's an African dish, and I had it with some Nigerians. I'm not going into that story, but it was when I was working with the UN, in the military. So I thought I would share that and make it because I've been craving it. The only drawback I have is that I couldn't get my hands on any goat meat because that's the meat that you would normally have with it. Some goat is, for me, it tastes the best. You have other options, but for me, I like the goat with this dish, but I couldn't get my hands on it. But yeah, let's get into this. Enjoy the recipe, enjoy the video. I hope you try it for yourself. Let's go over some of these ingredients. Oh, another thing. I'm going to go over the ingredients real quick, but there are several steps to this. So I'm going to introduce the ingredients again with each step. So if you like that better, let me know. I may change up the way I do my recipes from this point on. But let's get to it. Okay, normally you would have Scotch bonnets for this, but I couldn't get my hands on any Scotch bonnets. So I'm using habaneros. They're pretty close on heat level, pretty close. But because I want the peanut gallery to eat this too, instead of 2 habaneros or 3, I'm just using 1. So here's the 1. I have 2 large red bell peppers that I've chopped up. I have 5 tomatoes that I've cut up, I've sliced. And I have half of a large red onion that I've sliced. And then also, I have some shallots that I'll be using, tomato paste. Of course, you have to have your rice. We're going to be using granulated garlic, curry powder, some thyme, some smoked paprika, and we also have a couple of bay leaves here, and then we have some chicken bouillon cubes. Have a cup of water, and a cup of chicken broth. Now I'm going to go over these again once I start doing the different sections. But this is what we're working with. Seems like a lot, but once you get going, it's actually. And before I forget, something else that's optional as far as the ingredient, you can use pepper, but with the habaneros or the Scotch bonnets, you really don't need it. I mean, you can use black pepper or white pepper, doesn't matter. And just season this to your taste. There isn't any one specific way to make this dish. Every country in Africa, and then on top of that, every family, and then on top of that, every person that makes things their own way. And that's pretty much what you see here with the tomatoes and the onions and the bell peppers and the chicken bouillon cubes and the bay leaf. Everything else, you know, it's up to you. Okay, so in this step, we're going to be using our chopped vegetables, our sliced vegetables, the habaneros, the bell peppers, the tomatoes, the red onions, and then also the half cup of water we're going to put in this blender. Here we go. Bell peppers go in. Tomatoes. Habanero. The onion, let's get the onions in here. The red onions. Press them down. Alright. Now we're going to put the lid on this and blend it. Alright, let's get this bad boy blended up. Just go ahead and add this water to it before we forget. Help the blender out. So you want to get that pureed as fine as you can get it. And we're going to set this aside. Now let's get to the cooking. It's a good idea to reintroduce the ingredients. Well, I actually forgot. I have to fry or saute the tomato paste and the shallots. So I'm going to put about a quarter cup of oil in the pot. And make sure you're using a pot that can handle the frying. I don't want you to burn your house down. A little more there. So once this heats up, we're going to add the shallots. Remember, shallots, they're delicate. Yeah, they're onions, but they're delicate. And you just want to fry these until you can smell it, until it's fragrant. Put these guys in here. And it's probably going to take about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Now, you could do the red onions. I really wouldn't recommend using white onions, but you can use the red onions. It'll just take longer for you to fry them. Like 5 minutes of frying for them to turn translucent. But you don't have to worry about that so much with the shallots. They cook fast, just don't burn them up. Turn these guys out, move them around. Looks like they're just about ready for the next step. Now the next step, you're going to take your tomato paste and add it. Now I know it's tomato paste, but we're trying to actually infuse the flavor in the oil and at the same time kind of dry it out a little bit more. All right, now at this point we're going to add our blended mixture. Just stir it in. And we're going to have to cook this down, so this is going to be cooking on medium low to closer to low for about 25 minutes to a half hour, because we want it to reduce. Alright, 15 minutes in. See how we're looking? It looks good. It's reducing. But we needed to reduce a lot more. It actually might take longer than 30 minutes to reduce the way I want it. But we're gonna see. Let's give it 15 more minutes. Okay, we just hit the 30-minute mark. Let's check this out. Yeah, it's reduced. It's also splattered all over everywhere. But I want it to be a little bit lower. So we're gonna give it another 15 minutes. Yeah, I might have to add more rice because one of my daughters coming over and she's gonna take some home with her. All right, we're almost there. You see that? It's not popping as much. The water's going. We need to get all that water out of there if we can. All right, so at this point, we're gonna briefly turn off the heat, and you'll see why here in a minute. We gotta add the spices, and I'm not trying to get beat up by this sauce, so I don't want to get popped. So we add 2 bay leaves in. Add smoked paprika, about a teaspoon worth, maybe a little more than a teaspoon. Add about a teaspoon of curry powder. Yeah. About a teaspoon of granulated garlic. Okay. And we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of thyme, the thyme leaves. There we go. And we're going to add our chicken stock. Actually, we're going to wait on the chicken stock. We're going to let this cook for about 15 minutes. And then we'll do the rice and the chicken stock. Okay, turn the heat back on. Put it back at low, stir this up. Get all these seasonings in here. Yeah. Let this get happy for at least 15 minutes minimum. You can go longer if you want, but this is just a minimum. And again, it's your recipe at this point. If you're making this, if you made it this far, you can add salt, you can add pepper, and we're going to put full cover on the lid. We're not going to crack it this time because it's what we need it to be. Right. We're going to add our bouillon cubes. 5 bouillon cubes. We're going to add it here. We're going to break them up, crush them up, put them in here. Get that nice flavor. That flavor that you'll savor, I'm sure. Yeah, I know my voice is kind of cracking right now, but it's because I got my hand huddled over this hot concoction here. And all it takes is one little piece to pop up and touch me, and I'll act like I lost my whole life. Let's wash the rice. All right, we're gonna wash the rice. Cold water, cold water. And we're gonna wash it till it's clear. It's gonna take a few times, I'm sure. See how cloudy that is? We gotta get rid of that starch. All right, there we go. The water's running clear. All right, we're now going to add our washed rice. Okay, let's get this guy in here. Our washed rice. Get it all in. Yeah, put some gloves on so I can get all this rice out of here. All out of there. All 2 cups. Alright. Now we're gonna stir that in. Yeah, get it nice and stirred in. And this is long grain rice. I don't know if I told you before, but this is a long grain rice. Now we're going to add our chicken stock. There you go. Be careful when you're adding it. You only want the liquid to go just above the rice once you stir it up. Yeah, we can add a little more. There we go. Now we're going to put this on our lowest setting with the lid completely on and see you in 20 minutes. Okay, now at this point, if you want to add some black pepper, you can, or white pepper. I add a little bit of black pepper. Yeah, I know, the peanut gallery's not going to be happy, but hey, they got to deal with it, right? Got to deal with it. If you got white pepper, hey, throw some white pepper in there. Just in case you got people looking for pepper, they won't be able to see. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, the rice is still not done. Stir it up. Yeah. Cover this up, and we're going to give it another 20 minutes. 20 minutes. The rice is not done. You can't rush this part. And give it another 20 minutes on the lowest heat, and take it right in. 20 minutes. Okay, so to kind of help this out, you can put a little aluminum foil over the top. Keep that steam in, and then put the lid right on it. That's going to help out tremendously. All right, so it's been about another 20 minutes. Let's check this out. Oh, looks nice. Yes. Stir it. Still a little hard, but what we're going to do now, turn the heat off, put the foil back on, and we're going to let it steam. So the rice is done. Finally. I got to get a better quality of rice because I'm not happy with this. I should have used like a basmati rice, but this works. We're going to put this in this bowl. I really wish I had some goat meat. That would have made all the difference, for me anyway. This is kind of on the mushy side, but I know what happened there. I can fix that next time. But look at that. Yeah. Let's check this out.